So that's how it happened. Compared to her story, my memory of that day was starkly different. I was on a cold operating table, bleeding out after shielding our son from a car bomb, fighting with every ounce of strength just to stay alive for him. Knowing that I had unknowingly witnessed the moment they met, should I feel my heart tear in two, or should I be grateful? A dull ache throbbed in my chest. I dug my nails into my palm, forcing myself to maintain a mask of detached professionalism. Miss Doyle, do you have any other requirements for the ceremony? Cassie tilted her head, thinking for a moment. Then she said, "Oh, right. The entire hall must be decorated with imported bulletproof silk. My gown is a one-of-a-kind design, custom-made for me by Jaren, and it can't be damaged at all. Money is no object. Jaren will handle everything." Hearing this, I almost laughed out loud. Jaren, the man I had personally raised from a low-level soldado. The enforcer who once couldn't afford a decent gun was now the family's unassailable underboss. A position that took other men 20 years to climb, I helped him secure in just 3. Perhaps I had paved his path too smoothly, letting him forget where he came from. And who put him the As for that gown, it was from a luxury brand that required an asset check, just to place an order. At the show in Milan, the admiration in Jaren's eyes had been so obvious. In that moment, I was sure that bulletproof gown would be mine. Then I received the confirmation letter from the brand, informing me the order had gone into product. Ion. It was just 2 sizes too small. I had assumed he'd simply misjudged my postpartum figure. Now I finally understood. That gown I could never fit into was never meant for me. I closed the folder. I understand, Miss Doyle. I promise you a ceremony that money can't buy. After seeing her out with a practiced smile, I sneered and called my father's most loyal strategist. My consigliere, Marco Bellini. Jaren has betrayed the family, I said calmly. I want everything he has, and I want him to disappear from this world. In less than half an hour, encrypted evidence of Jaren's betrayal landed in my inbox. It was only a few months' worth of data, but it was nearly 100 gigabytes. The first video was from the day I was almost killed by the bomb. Cassie hadn't told the whole story. While I was fighting for my life on the operating table, Jaren had taken her to the safe house we had prepared for our son for a tryst. He had only rushed back, disheveled, after I was out of surgery, feeding me a lie about hunting down a family traitor. The second video was from our son Luca's 1-month celebration. An enemy family had infiltrated and poisoned the wine. Luca was rushed to the hospital. I was standing in the hallway, trembling, while Jaren slipped into another consultation room to more to Cassie, who was on the night shift. The third video was from the time he claimed he was going for peace talks during my postpartum wreck. Ovary. The excuse was laughably thin. The Caruso family business was mine. How could I not know about any peace talks? But seeing him startled awake by our son's cries every night, his face etched with exhaustion, my heart had ached for him. So I let him go out to relax. I never imagined my consideration was just enabling an affair. An uninterrupted romantic getaway on my private island. How thoughtful of him. With a trembling hand, I held my phone and clicked on the longest video. The video started with the faint cry of a baby filling the room. I recognized it instantly. It was my son Luca. My fingers trembled as I fast-forwarded. Cassie's cloying voice came through. "Are you sure about this? Using your own son to test my nerve? Is that really okay?" Jaren replied nonchalantly, almost with a laugh. "What's the problem? People always say you're afraid of blood. Practicing on a corpse isn't as effective as a live subject. If he can't learn the smell of steel now, he doesn't deserve to be my son." In the past, I had always thought Jaren was a good father. From his initial clumsiness to his later proficiency in checking our son's surroundings for threats. Especially after he started his frequent outings, he seemed to handle Luca with newfound care and experience. That was why I felt at ease letting him take our son out alone. I never thought he could be so cruel to his own flesh and blood. In the video, Jaren stuffed a loaded silver pistol into my 2-month-old son's hand, forcing his New York fingers around the grip, and even laughed. You have to get used to the smell of steel from a young age. And Cassie was excitedly taking pictures from the side. My son's cries grew louder, and a pain so sharp it stole my breath shot through me. I wanted to smash through the screen and wring the necks of that wretched pair with my own hands. Then, in the next second, my phone rang. I answered and Cassie's shy, sweet voice came through. It was Mom and Dad. They had come back with Liam, carrying big and small shopping bags. Mom was holding Liam in her arms. He was wearing a brand new outfit and clutching the latest Transformers toy. Liam waved the toy around excitedly in her arms. Mom's back hurt easily, so whenever I asked for a hug, she would frown and tell me that girls should and be so clingy. Since I felt bad for Mom, I never asked for a hug again. Today, however, she was holding Liam, her eyes full of doting affection. Why was it so different from how she treated me? Ellie, look. Mom bought me the newest toy. And you don't have one. Liam stood in the doorway of the storage room with his hands on his hips, showing off. I clearly saw Mom smiling, about to take out the Barbie doll I had stopped to stare at countless Yes, in front of the store display. My heart instantly felt warm, and a small spark of hope lit up inside me. But when she heard no response from me, Mom stopped what she was doing and shouted angrily, "She's B. And spoiled with no limits. Liam is talking to her, yet she's still acting dead in there. Looks like the punishment wasn't enough." At that moment, Dad grabbed Mom's arm and sighed. "Let it go, Winnie. Ellie is a girl after all. It's nothing if she's a little spoiled." As he spoke, he picked up the Barbie doll and started walking toward the storage room. "You're not giving that to her." Mom rushed over and snatched the Barbie doll from Dad's hand. I was even thinking about her. I thought she would reflect on herself. Instead, she's getting worse. After saying that, she grabbed the scissors from the table and cut the Barbie doll into pieces. I looked at the Barbie doll lying on the floor, its golden hair scattered everywhere, its delicate princess dress torn apart. My heart hurt in waves. That doll was so expensive. Every time we passed the store window, Mom would see me staring through the clear glass, my eyes full of longing for the doll. She would smile kindly and say that once she got her paycheck, she would definitely buy it for me. Now that she had finally bought it, "Mom, why did you destroy it? It would have been better if I had never had it." Even after cutting the doll to pieces, Mom still wasn't satisfied. She set it on fire. In an instant, the doll turned into ashes. I closed my eyes in pain and didn't dare to look. Mom, on the other hand, was still cursing. "I spent so many years raising you. Do you know how much effort I put in? I stayed up late with you night after night, and this is what I get. What an ungrateful child. I say a few words, and you ignore me? Fine. Stay in there for the rest of your life. Don't come out. I hired so many tutors for you. Do you know how much that cost? You've had it way better than Liam, and you're still not satisfied." Mom's chest heaved violently. Dad stood beside her, timidly patting her back and softly comforting her. He only glanced toward the storage room, but he didn't dare take another step closer. After she finished yelling, Mom still wasn't satisfied. She looked up and saw the certificates and trophies I had earned over the years through hard work. Every time I brought home a certificate, Mom would beam with pride and cook a huge meal for me. Whenever I saw the proud looks on Mom and Dad's faces, I worked even harder than before. Mom used to carefully wipe each certificate and every trophy. Now, as if she had gone mad, she waved her arms wildly and knocked the certificates down one by one. The certificates with my name printed on them were torn into countless pieces. Then she smashed the golden trophies I had worked day and night to earn, one after another. The noise alerted the neighbors downstairs. Our neighbor next door, Mr. Thompson, loved watching drama. He rushed over to our house right away. I didn't like Mr. Thompson. He was short, with a face full of wrinkles when he smiled. He always smelled strongly of cigarettes, and when he opened his mouth, there were 2 rows of yellow teeth.